Alright, morning viewers. So we are here at Mid Valley at the Go EV zone. And I have with me here Kelvin from the Cool Car Guys today.
Yay!
So the main purpose is basically for Kelvin to experience EV driving on the road lah. So he has driven a couple of EVs before, I think. 3Z is one of them, that's not a good example.
Yeah. No.
He's driving a gas hybrid at the moment. So in terms of low speed around town experience, it's going to be very similar. But I think what he really wants to experience is moving at high speed in absolute silence. I think that's what he really wants to experience, right? Yeah, so what we're going to do now is we're going to start our trip on the GoCar app, and we'll catch you guys in a minute. Alright, so we've just picked up the car and started our trip. So the car currently has 99% charge, and it says it should be capable of doing 250 kilometers on the balance battery that we have. So the car is actually started, as you can probably not hear, right? Because it's so quiet.
So quiet.
It's probably the same as your gas hybrid in terms of sound level and refinement.
Yeah. Before the engine kicks in.
Yeah, before the engine kicks in when you start up the car. But otherwise, it's just like we have not even started the car at all, right?
To be honest.
It's so quiet inside here. So while Kelvin sets up his camera, I'm just going to walk you through a little bit on the process of picking up the car, right? So once you're here, you can press on start trip to walk around the car and make sure there are no damages on it. And of course, you need to upload photos of the car condition as well. So do that, walk around the car, check for any scratches, damages, dents, you name it. As long as it doesn't look like it belongs to the car, just snap a photo of it and upload it onto the app. Then once you are inside the car, then there are three things that you actually need to check for, right? So the first thing is right above Kevin's head there, there's actually a season pass for this Mid Valley's car park. And below here, or well, somewhere in the cabin lah, I don't know where's the last user going to put it for you, but there's going to be a charge EV card for you to use any public charges. And there is one more crucial bit that you need to check, which is in the boot. That's the charging cable. I'll show you a video of what it looks like later, but make sure you check the charging cable is there, because these things are not cheap. It's not like a phone charging cable that costs 20 ringgit, right? These can cost upwards to 1,000 and even more. I don't know what's the actual pricing now, but I've inquired before, and yeah, it costs a couple of thousand depending on what spec you get as well. So yep, off we go to Genting. Yeah, I didn't share the plan with you just now, but today we have a mission basically. Of course, apart from Kelvin experiencing the EV driving experience, what we want to do is to see whether you can actually drive this car to Genting. I'm pretty confident we can, but yeah, it depends on how heavy foot Kelvin has as well later. So I
no, not gonna be heavy footed.
I
personally drive a hybrid, and the purpose of me wanting to drive a hybrid because of fuel efficiency. So I'm not a heavy footer. So
I think if anything, I'll be the one that's gonna step on the accelerator more than him. So I'm actually quite a spirited driver when I feel like it. So yeah, I don't think we have an issue making there and back in one single charge. So let's see how it goes.
Yep.
We'll catch you guys again on the road. You join us on the road now with Kelvin behind the wheel. And we're doing about 80-ish, close to 90 km an hour on the highway. And Kelvin, what's your experience, or would you like to share with us how do you feel now?
I feel excited because I accidentally almost go up to 100 km just now without realizing that I'm doing it. Generally because the car feels very quiet. And because yeah, the car generally feels very quiet, and
there's no engine noise.
There's no engine noise.
There's only tyre noise, wind noise.
Yeah.
And yeah, other than that, it's just me talking.
Yeah.
It's just my voice.
and a bit of the aircon sound.
Yeah.
Which is not loud at all. And another thing I want to point out is that Nissan Leaf actually feels really good to drive on. I mean,
glad you like it.
Yeah, I glad that I liked it as well. I mean, initially I thought that Nissan Leaf, because the company position Nissan Leaf as an everyday car, right? I expected it to drive like an Almira.
Really?
To be honest. But after getting up on it, right, it actually feels like driving a Tiana.
It does, doesn't it?
It does. I think it because the battery was being placed at the bottom of the car, and then it actually enhanced the whole gravitational force of the car. I mean, it actually put on weights for the car. That's why it keeps it
hunkered down on the road.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. And
That's
you know
why.
what? Interesting fact. These are all brought in from Japan.
Oh, CBU ah.
CBU. So that's why
Oh.
there's not much panel noise, you know.
No.
There's some from my wires and all that because it's bashing around on the panels, but other than that, you don't hear any squeaks of panel noises, nothing. And just a quick check on the trip computer. We've done 11 kilometers and we are now down to 239 kilometers of range. So that means we have lost about 13 kilometers. Agreed? Yeah. So it's not too bad, really, you know. I mean, of course, like I said just now, Kelvin is very light-footed, unlike me. So when we come down from Genting later, he's going to drive up, I'm going to drive down. So I might lose a bit more range, or maybe not, because I'm coming downhill. So
You might take advantage of the regen and you gain more range.
Yeah, so basically,
That's generally the whole fun things about the car.
exactly how we actually thought about having this trip. We saw a few influencers before this taking GoCar's Leaf out before, and we thought we'd do the same, challenging, you know, whether this EV can go up to Genting and back. We will not try with a single charge lah, just in case. But looking at the state of charge, I reckon we don't even need to charge when we get up to Genting later. Yeah, I mean, we'll see what's the range left later lah, you know. Then we will see if we actually need to plug it in and charge. But either way, it's free. We have the charge EV card here, so we might just explore and see whether the charges work.
I want to talk about the seats though.
Are you comfortable?
I think it's very comfortable.
Very supportive, right?
Very supportive. It has the... I don't know whether does it comes with the lumbar support.
I think it does, but I feel like it's pushing on my lumbar as well.
It's not adjustable, but it has a good lumbar support.
Yeah. It doesn't make you feel tired.
No. I mean, this is something that I want to compare with my current Honda Jazz Hybrid.
Right.
That car has no lumbar support at all. So
just like me. I don't have it in my car either. My truck.
You tend to get a bit of sore back
after a long drive.
After a long drive.
Yeah.
And oddly enough, this car actually don't give you that feeling.
If I'm not mistaken, that's because it has the zero gravity inspired seats. Okay, so I guess here on it's gonna be a little bit boring because we are just trying to get past this traffic. So yeah, I guess after we start climbing, we'll catch up with you guys again later. But until then, yeah, let's enjoy the quiet drive of this electric car in traffic. That lorry is ruining it, but yeah, generally still a very quiet drive. Alright, see you guys soon.
See ya!
So this is the interior of the Nissan Leaf. For those of you who are unfamiliar with EVs and have never driven hybrids, you probably would be a bit puzzled with this cute little, what shall I call it? Mouse knob. Yeah, so this is basically the gear lever. When you want to engage drive, you just push it to the right and downwards. Reverse is to the right and upwards. So of course you need to have your foot on the brake to park. You just press on this button on the top. Then the handbrake is similar to the first generation Leaf. It's an electronic parking brake.
Big fat ass. Wait.
Okay, we finally found the charging station. So before you charge the car, you're going to open the charging port and retrieve the charging cable from the booth. Alright, there you go. So you will need this.
It's similar like your phone cable, huh?
Yep, but not a lot heavier. Then the next thing is to make sure you plug in the right end to the right side. So
How do they know?
Alright, so this is actually a Type 2 charger. If you see the socket, it's actually different. Oh my goodness, it's so hard to take it off. Yeah, so as you can see, it's actually two different plugs, right? So this bigger one with that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7 holes goes into this part here. Okay, how do I open this? Oh, there. So plug that in to the charger or the wall box. The other end goes into the car.
Got it?
Plug it into the charging port on the left. And the light on the dashboard should start blinking. Or perhaps I need to tap.
You need to tap the card. Yeah.
Yeah, so assuming that person is charging, why am I not charging?
No, it says press the green button.
Well, there's no green button.
Long press?
Plug in the charging connector, charge the car. Doesn't seem to work. And I've got to release the charger from inside the car. Yep, so we can unplug it now. Can you? Yep, so that's green. Lift the socket cover and plug in your charging connector. Yep, so I've done that. If the light is green and blinking, it is charging. If it's red, the car is not charging. Please contact the car park management for assistance. Oh. Okay, let's try plugging in again.
You try.
Oh, okay. It's red.
You wanna try that?
Yeah, I'm thinking to just move the car over there.
Let's try.
The Bellfire is in the way. It's okay, but we're still keeping with the Mercedes.
We're keeping up. We're keeping up. Oh. The Mercedes probably struggling lah. We're like really effortlessly long. Ooh.
So we are now at the Chin Swee Temple car park. We recharged the car just now at when we were at Genting Premium Outlet. We've parked there for just about 2 hours because the parking was 14 ringgit for the first hour and 4 ringgit for the following hour. So we actually managed to charge it up to 77% just now. But because I had a bit of a, shall we say, enthusiastic driving style on the way up here, so we only left with 68% and 141 kilometers of range back left. So it should be enough for us to get back to KL, because on the way down I would believe the regen would actually charge up the battery a little bit as well. So yeah, it's a very fun car to drive up the hill, and of course it's very silent as well. We were able to keep up with a Mercedes SLC 200 just now. Not that it was going very fast either. We were all driving very safely. But yeah, I'm really surprised that we can actually keep up with a Mercedes up this mountain. So yeah, we'll catch up with you all again in the next segment. Okay, so we are approaching the Gombak Toll Plaza now. And we have been using the regenerative braking as much as we can just now. So at one point we actually hit 72%, then there was a bit of uphill coming down Genting as well. So I had a bit of a spirited drive there, and it went back down to 70%. So technically we actually gained about 10% of charge while we were coming downhill just now. Now, yeah, because we started with I think 67 when we were at the top of the hill just now, and then we hit 72, went back down to 70, and now we are back up to 75 at one point. So yeah, I think we gained about 10% of charge on our way back down from Genting Hill. So it's not too bad. Proof that, you know, when you go somewhere in an EV, you don't need to have half a charge to come back, because if you're coming back downhill, it charges up the battery for you as well. You just need to use it wisely lah. So like, I was putting it in B mode just now to just increase the regenerative charging for the battery. So yeah, that's how you drive an EV. Okay, we are now approaching Bangsar. We've just came off the Kerinci link. So now we are currently in a bit of a stop-start traffic situation. So I've activated the e-pedal mode during this period. So what it does is that it allows you to use just the accelerator pedal to move the car and to stop the car. So you do not need to actually move your feet between the brake and the accelerator pedal back and forth, right? So when the car in front stops, just lift off the accelerator completely gently, because the regenerative and the braking function is actually very strong when you turn on e-pedal mode. So yeah, it saves you from moving your feet between accelerator, brake when you go at a stop-start traffic situation. So yeah, if you have a chance to take out the Nissan Leaf for a spin, try it out. Not on the public road straight away, because you might you might not be used to it and the car will just stop all of a sudden. We are approaching mid-valley now, just probably about 3 kilometers away. In total, we have covered about 116 kilometers to this point, and the battery charge is now at 66%. So if you come to think of it, we started off this morning with a full charge, 100%. Then we charged up the car at Genting Premium Outlet just now from, I think it was what, 60% to 77%. So from 77% back down here, we have another 66% left, which means we only use around 10% of battery to come back down here. I'm actually surprised. Yeah, so I'm in the wrong lane. So yeah, as you can see, my foot came off the accelerator pedal, and that was the car telling me I'm about to run into the car in front.
But how does it?
I think there's a LiDAR sensor in front.
Oh yeah, at the blue panel. Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah.
We were like curious, why there's no cameras here?
But how does it know that we are going to crash into something?
Exactly. Right? The cameras are like outdated. They have LiDAR.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay, that's another feature we tested out today. So yeah.
Does it engage the brake just now?
No, that was me stepping on the brake because I know I was a bit too close for comfort, so I covered the brakes.
Got it.
So maybe it's a combination of me and the car slowing down.
Got it.
But yeah, interesting. Got to try out autonomous emergency braking for the first time. I've never tried it out before. Didn't intend to. But yeah, there's a first time for everything. Okay, so we've ended our trip. We've just returned the car to Mid-Valley, to the home EV zone. And we've ended the trip. We've plugged in the car to charge. It's locked. So that pretty much concludes our EV experience today. In terms of how it drives, I'm very familiar with how it drives, so maybe Kelvin will be sharing a bit more on his channel. I'll put a link to his video later in the description below. And yeah, if you'd like to try out the car for yourself, you can actually use the promo code now, 50GoEV, and you'll get 50% off, capped at 80 ringgit per time. So yeah, that concludes our session here. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you again in the next video.